My child, stop everything you are doing right now and listen, because what I am about to tell you will shake the very foundation of how you see your life. You have just completed something that only 1 in 10,000 souls ever accomplish. In the last 90 days, you walked through 9 impossible trials, and you did not break, not once. And I need you to understand the magnitude of this moment, because what happens next will be unlike anything you have experienced before. This is not motivation. This is not encouragement. This is recognition of a shift that has already taken place within you, whether you feel it yet or not. You stood in the fire, and you came out refined, and now everything changes. If this is resonating deep in your core, if you can feel that these words were written for you and no one else, subscribe and stay close to this channel, because heaven is not finished speaking to you. Do not walk away from the one place I am using to reach you right now. Every single one of those 9 trials was designed with precision. Nothing was random. Nothing was punishment. The first trial came as rejection, when doors slammed in your face and you had every reason to believe you were not good enough. Yet something inside you refused to accept that verdict. The second arrived as financial pressure, when the numbers did not add up and panic tried to take over. But you kept moving anyway. The third showed up as betrayal from someone close, someone you trusted completely, and instead of closing your heart forever, you chose to heal and stay open. The fourth was the silence, the deafening quiet, when your prayers seemed to vanish into emptiness, and still you kept talking to me. You passed each one, not because you were perfect, not because you had all the answers, but because you refused to give up, and that refusal is what caught my attention. I want you to know something about that fire you walked through. In my word, I told you, I will refine them like silver is refined, and test them like gold is tested. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people, and they will say, the Lord is my God. That is Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9. You were not being burned to be destroyed. You were being purified to be trusted. If you receive that truth tonight, type, I stood in the fire and I did not break. Let me tell you about the 5th trial, because this one nearly broke you. It was the season of delay, when everything you worked for seemed frozen in time. Opportunities that should have opened stayed locked. Progress that should have happened stalled completely. And you watched others move forward while you stood still. But here is what you did not know. That delay was not denial. It was preparation. You were being positioned for something so specific that if it had come earlier, you would not have been ready to hold it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, and it hastens to the end. It will not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. That is Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. Your waiting was never wasted. Your waiting was my workshop. The 6th trial tested your integrity when no one was watching. You had chances to cut corners, to compromise, to take the easier path that everyone else was taking, and you said no. You chose the harder road because something in you knew that character matters more than convenience. That choice marked you differently. The 7th trial brought isolation so deep that even surrounded by people, you felt completely alone. You could not explain what you were going through because no one around you understood. They had not walked your path. They had not seen what you had seen. And in that loneliness, you had to decide whether to conform or to stand firm in what you knew to be true. You stood firm. If you have ever felt that lonely and still refused to bow, type, I stayed faithful when no one saw me. The 8th trial stripped away your comfort. When things you relied on suddenly disappeared, relationships shifted, situations changed, stability you thought was permanent proved temporary. And in that shaking, you discovered something powerful. You discovered that your foundation was not built on what you could see. It was built on something much deeper, something that could not be taken away. The 9th and final trial was the test of surrender. This was the moment when you had to let go of control completely, when you had to release your grip on how you thought things should unfold and trust that I had a better plan. Everything in you wanted to force solutions, to make things happen, to take matters into your own hands, but you released, you let go. And that surrender is what brought you across the finish line. Now, hear me clearly. What I am about to release into your life is directly connected to what you just walked through. the level of breakthrough coming your way matches the depth of trial you endured. This is how it works. The greater the pressure, the more valuable the transformation. And you were not under random pressure. You were being compressed into a diamond. My beloved, before I show you what is coming, I want you to do something with the faith rising in you right now. As heaven works to clear every counterfeit from your path, I want you to sow a seed, not for yourself, but for someone else who is also in a season of isolation. Someone whose silent battles are as real as yours have been. Sow a seed in their name as a declaration of faith that what heaven is doing for you, it is also doing for them. Visit the link in the description below or scan the code on your screen. When you give from a place of need and still choose to believe, you are telling me that your trust is not for sale, and I never forget a seed sown in faith. These next 90 days will not look like the last 90. You are entering a season where what was delayed begins to move, where what was blocked begins to open, where what was impossible becomes suddenly within reach. I am not saying everything happens overnight. I am saying the momentum has shifted. You will start noticing signs that things are different. Conversations that change direction unexpectedly. Messages that arrive at exactly the right time. Opportunities that appear out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations that you have crossed into new territory. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. That is Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. The old thing is finished. The new thing has already begun. Some people will not understand the shift happening in you. They will ask what changed. They will sense something different, but not be able to name it. Do not try to explain it to everyone. Not everyone is meant to understand. Your job is simply to walk in this new authority with humility and confidence, knowing that you earned this position through your faithfulness. If you are feeling this in your core, leave a comment saying, "I receive it," and watch what happens next. There will be relationships that realign during this season. Some people who were distant will suddenly draw closer. Others who were close will naturally drift away. Do not fight either movement. This is divine orchestration. I am making space for the right connections and removing what no longer serves your purpose. Every exit is making room for an entrance. Every ending is creating space for a new beginning. Trust this process completely. And to the one who has been walking this road alone, carrying a quiet ache no one else can see, hear this decree over your life tonight. The person meant to walk beside you in this new season is not a fantasy, and they are not lost. At this very moment, I am preparing them the same way I prepared you, through their own fire, their own waiting, their own refining. I placed that desire in your heart, and I have not forgotten it. The counterfeit connections are being cleared from your life, so the real one, the soul actually aligned to your spirit, can find you without delay and without confusion. You were never meant to do this life half-hearted and half-seen. Your isolation was not rejection. It was protection, and it is ending. If you believe love is being sent to you on divine timing, type, "I receive my divine connection." You will also notice a sharpening of your discernment. Things that used to confuse you will become clear. Decisions that used to paralyze you will become simple. You will know what to say yes to and what to decline, not through overthinking, but through an inner knowing that rises up naturally. This clarity is one of the gifts that comes from walking through what you just walked through. Nothing sharpens vision like passing through fire. Your capacity has expanded in ways you cannot fully measure yet. What used to overwhelm you will now feel manageable. What used to intimidate you will now seem approachable. Responsibilities that would have crushed the old version of you will rest lightly on the new version, because you are not who you were 90 days ago. You have been upgraded internally, and soon the external will begin to reflect that upgrade. Do not go back to old patterns of thinking. Do not slip into old habits of doubt. When fear whispers that this is too good to be true, remind yourself of what you already survived. If you made it through 9 trials, you can walk confidently through 9 blessings. You are ready for what is coming, more ready than you realize. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The number 9 is not arbitrary. In the spiritual realm, 9 represents completion, finality, and divine fulfillment. It is the number that signals the end of one era and the beginning of another. You finishing 9 trials in 90 days is a clear indication that a major chapter of your life has concluded. What comes next is not a continuation of what was. It is something entirely new. But here is the truth about new beginnings. They require you to think differently, to move differently, to believe differently. You cannot carry old mindsets into new seasons and expect them to work. The strategies that got you through the trials are not the same strategies needed for the blessings. In trials, you survive. In blessings, you steward. And stewardship requires wisdom, discipline, and intentionality. I know how many voices are competing for your attention right now, and how easy it would be to scroll past and forget this ever reached you. So if any part of this is landing on you, do not let this be the last time you hear my voice through this place. Subscribe and turn on the reminder so that when I release the next word over your life, it finds you. I am gathering my chosen ones one message at a time, and I do not want you to miss the moment your name is called again. You are about to step into a level of influence that will require you to guard your peace fiercely. More people will want your time, your energy, your attention. More voices will offer opinions about what you should do next. And in the middle of all that noise, you must learn to hear my voice above everything else. The ability to tune out distraction and tune into divine direction will be one of your most critical skills moving forward. Practice it daily. Protect it intentionally. Your peace is not a luxury. It is a necessity. There is also something important you need to understand about increase. When blessings multiply, so does responsibility. When doors open, so does accountability. With every new level comes new expectations, new standards, new requirements. This is not meant to scare you. This is meant to prepare you. You cannot treat increase carelessly. It must be handled with respect and gratitude, knowing that what has been given can also be taken away if it is not valued properly. Do not let success make you forget where you came from. Do not let blessing make you lose sight of who brought you through. Stay grounded. Stay humble. Stay connected to the source. Arrogance will close doors faster than anything else, but humility will keep them open, and even unlock new ones you did not know existed. Remember that everything you are receiving is ultimately for a purpose beyond yourself. Yes, you will benefit. Yes, your life will improve. But the greater reason is so that you can become a living testimony of what faithfulness produces. If you are ready to claim this breakthrough type, I claim this breakthrough now. People are watching. Even when you do not realize it, they are observing how you handle pressure, how you respond to setback, how you carry yourself in difficulty. And now they will watch how you handle favor, how you manage blessing, how you steward increase. Your life is a message. Make sure it is one worth reading. In the coming days, you may feel a pull towards something you have never done before. A direction you have never considered. An opportunity that seems outside your comfort zone. Do not dismiss it quickly. Sit with it. Pray over it. Ask for confirmation, but do not let fear be the reason you say no. You have already proven you can do hard things. Now prove you can do new things. Expansion often feels uncomfortable at first, because growth always stretches you beyond what is familiar. I am also going to warn you about something that will try to creep in during this season, and that is complacency. When things start going well, there is a temptation to coast, to relax effort, to assume the momentum will continue on its own. It will not. Blessing requires maintenance. Favor requires stewardship. You must stay intentional, stay disciplined, stay consistent, even when things are flowing smoothly. Actually, especially when things are flowing smoothly, that is when the enemy looks for cracks in your armor. Stay alert. There will be moments when old wounds try to resurface. Past hurts that you thought were healed might flare up unexpectedly. This is not a setback. This is part of the process. Sometimes healing happens in layers, and as you move into deeper levels of purpose, deeper layers of pain need to be addressed. Do not run from it. Face it, process it. Let it be healed completely, so it does not hinder what is ahead. Unhealed parts of your past can sabotage your future if left unattended. Take the time to do the inner work. even as external blessings are manifesting. The alignment of inner healing and outer blessing creates sustainable success. One without the other leads to instability. I want both for you, not just one. So prioritize your emotional and spiritual health just as much as you celebrate material progress. You are also going to encounter people who will question your sudden shift. They will wonder why things are changing for you. Some will celebrate with you genuinely. Others will smile but secretly resent your progress. Discern the difference, but do not let either group distract you from your path. Keep moving forward. Your assignment is not to convince anyone of your worthiness. Your assignment is to walk in it confidently and let the fruit speak for itself. There is a boldness rising in you that might feel unfamiliar. You will begin to speak up in situations where you used to stay silent. You will set boundaries where you used to people please. You will pursue opportunities where you used to hold back. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. You are stepping into the fullness of who you were created to be, and that version of you does not shrink, does not hide, does not apologize for taking up space. Embrace this boldness. It is a gift. My beloved, I want to pause here because faith is not only spoken, it is demonstrated. Before you step into everything I have just spoken over your life, I want you to sow a seed as your personal act of faith. Not because you have to, but because your yes to heaven deserves a declaration. This is not about the amount, it is about the agreement. It is you saying, I believe you, God, before I even see it. Visit the link in the description below, or scan the code on your screen and sow that seed today. Every seed sown in faith is seen by the one who holds your future in his hands, and what you release in trust, I will return in abundance. It is also important to talk about the stewardship of resources, because financial increase is a likely part of what is coming. When money begins to flow differently, the temptation is to spend recklessly, to finally get all the things you have been denied. Resist that urge. Be wise, be strategic, build something that lasts, invest in your future, bless others, create margin. Money is a tool, not a trophy. Use it purposefully and it will multiply, waste it carelessly and it will evaporate. The choice is yours. If you are ready to walk into everything I am describing, type Amen and let that be your declaration of faith. You will also begin to see patterns connecting that you missed before. Events from years ago that seemed meaningless will suddenly make sense. Doors that closed will reveal why they needed to. People who left will show you the blessing in their departure. Delays will expose the protection they provided. This hindsight clarity is part of the gift. It helps you trust the process even more deeply, because you see how everything was working together all along, even when it did not feel like it. Let me remind you of something crucial. You are not in this alone. I have been with you every single step, even in the moments you felt abandoned. Especially in those moments, my presence does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it is the quiet strength that kept you going when you wanted to quit. Sometimes it is the whisper of hope when despair was screaming. Sometimes it is the unexpected peace in the middle of chaos. That was me, and I am still here. I will be here through every phase of what comes next. Your breakthrough is not about you finally being good enough. It is about you finally being ready. There is a difference. Worthiness was never the issue. Readiness was, and now you are ready. The trials refined you, the waiting positioned you, the pain matured you, and now the blessing will establish you. But establishment requires roots, not just results. So even as you celebrate the wins, keep deepening your foundation. Keep strengthening your core. Keep building your character, because everything I am bringing into your life needs a strong structure to hold it. There will be days ahead when you will be tempted to compare your journey to someone else's. You will see people who seem to have it easier, who did not walk through what you walked through, yet appear to be thriving. Do not let comparison steal your joy. Their path is not your path. Their timeline is not your timeline. Their assignment is not your assignment. What I have for you is custom designed for you specifically, and no one else can walk it the way you can. Comparison is a thief. Do not give it access. I also want to address something about your health, because breakthrough is not just financial or relational. Your physical body has carried the weight of these trials too. Stress has taken a toll. Worry has left its mark. Sleepless nights have drained your energy. Part of this new season includes the restoration of your physical health. You will begin to feel stronger. Sleep will come easier. Energy will return. Take care of your body intentionally during this time. It is the vessel through which you will carry out your purpose. Honor it, nourish it, rest it. As momentum builds, you will face the temptation to overextend yourself, to say yes to everything, because opportunities are finally flowing. Resist that. Not every open door is your door. Not every opportunity is your assignment. Learn to discern what is good and what is God ordained for you specifically. Just because you can do something does not mean you should. Wisdom knows the difference between capacity and calling. There is also a deepening of your prayer life that needs to happen in this season. When things are hard, people pray out of desperation. When things are good, prayer can become optional. Do not fall into that trap. Your connection with me is what sustains everything else. It is the source. It is the anchor. It is the compass. Make it non-negotiable, regardless of how well things are going externally. The strength of your private prayer life will determine the longevity of your public success. If you commit to staying connected to me through everything that is coming, type, "I will stay close to you, Lord." You might also notice that certain old desires are fading and new desires are emerging. Dreams you used to chase might not excite you anymore. Goals you used to prioritize might feel empty now. This is not loss. This is maturity. Your desires are aligning with your purpose, and what aligns with your purpose will always be more fulfilling than what merely entertained your ego. Let the old desires go without guilt. Embrace the new ones with confidence. Another gift coming your way is the grace to forgive completely. People who hurt you, situations that wounded you, betrayals that scarred you, you will find yourself able to release them without bitterness. This is supernatural. Forgiveness at this level does not come from human effort. It comes from divine empowerment. And when you forgive, you do not just free them, you free yourself. Unforgiveness is a weight you no longer need to carry. Let it go, and watch how much lighter you feel. You are also going to have moments of overwhelming gratitude, where you are moved to tears by the goodness surrounding you. Let those tears fall. Let that gratitude overflow. Do not suppress it because it feels too emotional. Gratitude is the language of abundance. The more you express it, the more reasons you will be given to feel it. Create space for thanksgiving daily. Make it a practice, not just an occasional feeling. You will also notice a shift in how you perceive problems. What used to feel like mountains will look like molehills. Challenges that used to paralyze you will energize you, because you now know that every obstacle is just another opportunity for breakthrough. This is the mindset of someone who has been through fire and came out refined. You do not fear the heat anymore because you know what it produces. This confidence is magnetic. It will draw the right people, the right opportunities, the right resources toward you, without you having to chase them. Let me speak to the entrepreneurs, the creatives, the business owners among you. Ideas that have been dormant in your mind are about to activate. Strategies that seem too risky will suddenly feel doable. Connections that can carry your vision forward are aligning right now. This is not the time to play small or hide your gifts. The world needs what you carry, and this season is your green light to move boldly. Do not wait for perfect conditions. They will never come. Move with what you have, where you are, and watch how provision meets you in motion. For those in relationships or desiring them, there is a purification happening here too. Unhealthy attachments are being severed. Toxic dynamics are being exposed and removed. And if you are single, do not see this as lack. See it as preparation. The person meant to walk alongside you in this new season must match the frequency you are operating on now. Trust the timing. Trust the process. Trust that what is meant for you will not miss you. Parents, your children are watching the transformation happening in you. Even if they do not verbalize it, the resilience you are modeling, the faith you are demonstrating, the perseverance you are living out, these are lessons they will carry for a lifetime. You are not just changing your own story. You are rewriting the narrative for the next generation. That is powerful. That is legacy. Do not underestimate the ripple effect of your obedience. And to those who are carrying guilt or shame from past mistakes, hear me. You have been forgiven completely, fully, eternally. Stop punishing yourself for what I have already covered. The enemy wants you stuck in your past so you miss your future. Do not give him that victory. What you did does not define who you are. What I say about you defines who you are, and I say you are chosen. You are redeemed. You are loved. You are mine. Walk in that identity without apology, my child. Before I release you into this new season, I want to give you one last chance to plant your faith into the ground of what I have spoken. If this message found you in the exact moment you needed it, that was not an accident. That was me reaching for you. So sow your final seed of faith tonight, not out of pressure but out of partnership. Agreeing with heaven that the harvest I promised is already on its way, visit the link in the description or scan the code on your screen. And to everyone who does not want to miss what I say next, subscribe and stay in this house, because the chosen ones I am speaking to are being gathered here, and I have more to release over your life very soon. In closing, I want you to know that I see you. I see your effort. I see your faithfulness. I see your sacrifice. Nothing you have sown in secret has been forgotten. Every tear you cried, every prayer you whispered, every act of obedience when no one was watching, it all matters. And now you are about to see the harvest of all those seeds you planted in faith. The 9 trials were preparation. The next 90 days are manifestation. Walk into this season with your head held high, your heart open, and your faith unshakable. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and everything is about to shift in your favor. This is your time. Step into it fully. And if you believe it, type, "This is my season," and let all of heaven hear you say it.